Netflix and chill wasn't a thing when we were dating.
No.
It was just watching a movie.
And chill.
And chill.
I have to sneeze. So Morales fine.
Could be sipping her tea like this. Alright.
And you don't have to hold it like we're watching Hallmark.
Like I want it.
But hey, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have a special guest here today. This is my husband, CJ, and this is a very special video. I asked him to make some time to record Christian dating advice, and we are gonna go over a hot topic, which is sex before marriage, which I think is something that I know a lot of young women need to hear, because this is advice that I knew that I needed to hear at that age. So before we get started, I do want to make sure that you click the subscribe button below if you haven't, and right next to it hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when my next video comes out. So let's get started.
We started dating in high school. I saw her in the hallway, asked my best friend, hey, do you know who that girl is? Do you know what's the deal? Does she have a boyfriend or anything like that? He said no, she doesn't. And so the next time that I saw her, I wasted no time at all. I did get her phone number, and that's how we started talking from there. And then right away went right into dating, because we both kind of knew that we had a attraction to each other and liked each other.
I was, what, 15?
Yeah,
and
I was
we were
16.
So we were in high school together for a few years, and then we graduated, and we were still together. And so we were at an age where we weren't kids so much anymore. We were young adults. He got his own apartment, and I was living at home with my parents and going to college. We decided to break up after, 5 years together?
Mm-hmm. Becoming a young adult and moving out of my parents' house for the first time, kind of going into the real world. I think all boys, especially around that age, they start to want to find their own identity.
During that time, as far as our relationship with God, I grew up in the church, and so throughout high school and throughout our relationship, we're still going to church. And when we were dating, I told him that I made a promise to God for myself that I was going to wait until marriage, and he respected that, which I was very impressed with, because especially at a young age, you don't find a lot of guys who are like that. So we never had sex. When we had our time apart, we experienced life differently. Like, we just wanted to be independent, free. And so we were not dating, and there was even a period of 2 years we weren't talking to each other. Mm-hmm. I was partying and going out, and so was he, but in our separate groups. So during that time, we just spited each other. Like, I was just so angry at him for living this life of this person that he never was before. And then the same thing with me. Throughout high school, we didn't drink or anything. And so now here we are, these adults, and now we're 21 and we want to experience, and we're drinking and going out. And so we just became completely different people. So when I would hear about what he would do, or he would hear about what I would do, we just got so angry, even though we knew in our hearts that we still loved each other no matter what. So it was just a crazy time. When I was in college, I would still go out and then come home at 2, 3 in the morning, and the very next morning I'd go to church, because it was a foundation that was already built. And so no matter what, I would still always go to church. I personally got tired of living that double life. So I decided to stop that. I decided I don't want to go out partying and then go to church the next day. So I decided to rededicate my life to Christ. And so I stopped going out, and that's a whole nother story, but I started walking right with God, and I think during that time you did too.
Yeah, so I grew up, and my mom took us to church as kids. We went to a Catholic church, we went to the Sunday school teachings that they had. So growing up, I understood right from wrong. So when we started dating when we were in high school, it was easy to respect her decision to wait, and me as a young man too, at 16 years old, I knew that was a great quality that she had. So meeting Jen, getting to know her, we would talk on the phone, building that relationship, and then when she told me about her decision, it was easy to respect that, and it actually made me fall more in love with her. And we were kids at that time, but I knew that was a great quality that she had. We were together for 5 years. and we honored and we respected that, and we were madly in love with each other. There was a physical attraction for sure, but we always had that was our rule, that we were waiting till marriage. It became powerful to me too, to maintain that same type of integrity. Even though I was doing dumb stuff and being a young dumb kid, sex became something that was like, it held a special place because we loved each other so much and we didn't. I didn't have that same period of time where I was going out and partying where I was like, oh, I want to go hook up with girls. I didn't look at sex that way, and I think it's because of the way we had respect for marriage first before sex.
The reason that we even share this story is because I know that it's unique. It doesn't always happen this way. We know what it's like to have that time apart. We know what it's like to be hurt because we've hurt each other so much. And we know what it's like to wait. And a lot of people, and especially society, will just make you feel that waiting is impossible or you shouldn't wait.
I believe that because of the standard that you set from the beginning of our relationship, when we first started talking, that was something that you voiced, and you weren't shy to put that out there and tell me, hey, look, I want to wait till marriage. Because I think a lot of girls maybe are afraid of what happens when they say that, if the guy's gonna talk to them again or not, or if the guy's gonna make fun of them. A lot of girls are afraid to say that from the beginning. They feel like sex is going to make the guy feel more for them or choose them, but in fact it's the opposite. If I didn't respect that and I thought that was lame, then that was like good that I'm out of your life.
I know that for me, and I hope that this is for someone. I knew my worth at a young age, and I know that my relationship with God and my upbringing did have a big part in that, but I knew that I was worth the wait. Even though I didn't have so much confidence in myself, I still knew there's no question about it. And I'm not gonna say that there was never temptation, but there was still always that boundary because I had set that from the very beginning for myself, and so people don't always agree with that. And if the guy doesn't agree with it, or they want to try to convince you otherwise, then you should know right then and there, right off the bat, no, I need to get out, because no one should ever make you do anything that you don't want to. But not just that, if you hold a standard for yourself and for your life, then if someone doesn't respect that, then what else are they going to do down the road? I'm not saying that every relationship fails if that, happens. For me, I just knew what I wanted in a relationship and what I wanted in a man.
The person who is meant for you, they have to respect your, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, they should respect that. So it's not just their idea of sex before marriage, it's the fact that they should respect you and what you want. I think a lot of people with the sex before marriage, they feel like if they've messed up once, then it's really like, oh, what does it matter? I've already done it. I've already messed up. It's not like I can become a virgin again.
But that's also a lie from the enemy.
It is. Like, you can make that decision to, from this point forward, I choose to honor myself, honor God with how I treat my body, and no sin is bigger than any other sin, and God forgives all sins, and God will forgive you and love you like nothing ever happened, and He's still working on your future husband out there. From our point of view, waiting was so worth it. What we have now together as a married couple, I would never trade.
When you get married, you and your spouse become one. And so it's the same thing in sex. That's what it's meant to be. You become one flesh. And so for us, it was just that much more special because it was something that we held on to for each other. It's a great thing.
Us waiting until we were married to have sex, like literally when we became one, it's like, no, we love each other so much that we are going to wait. And we are going to honor each other and honor her wishes. God's timing is always perfect, and it's never failed us.
There's nothing wrong with waiting. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I don't think anyone should be judged for it. I don't think that you should be worried about being judged for it or what other people would think or say, especially the person that you're dating.
So one of the things that helped us out when we were dating, because like we talked about, the temptation doesn't go away because we say we're going to wait till marriage. If anything, that makes the temptation even more intense, and you can feel the pressure because of this. We said no, but that doesn't mean that we're not still physically attracted to each other.
A lot of times we hung out with friends, especially through high school, and then when I graduated, we were always in groups. We just tried to not be alone. And then as adults, of course, we were alone, but it's just having fun, but knowing this is the standard, this is what's not going to happen, and if that temptation is just too strong, then I have to go. So it's possible, it can happen. It's just a decision that you have to make and stick by it. We have a surprise visitor again. This is our whole family. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure that you like this video if you got something out of it. Be sure to share this with someone who you feel may need to hear this advice. Comment below what other videos you'd like to see. This is the Morales family signing off. Say bye.